This is Jello, a gel tank plus accessories for performing protein gel electrophoresis. If we take it apart, so we release basically this cam locking mechanism, you can take this out. Now you have the electrode holder. In theory, the wire would basically come down here, across, and then you could pull your protein down the gel. For reference, this is how the electrode assembly should look, with two banana connectors as points of contact, one wire electrode on the inside, and one on the bottom outside. The important part for this one is these silicone gaskets that help seal it so that it's watertight. We also have protein gel blanks just to demonstrate how this whole system works. These are also important to use the Dichtol if you want to waterproof them. Otherwise, they have a lot of leaking. Initially, I tried to just paint this on to save on the volume used, since it is quite expensive. But what I found actually worked much better was to fully immerse some of the objects in the liquid in a bucket like this. And that worked really well. And there's another one. And you can see inside, this is basically the cam locking mechanism. So when you close that, it exerts the pressure and tightens everything up so it's watertight. And that's just what it looks like on the inside. There's a bit of water since I was doing some tests, but that's how it works. And the window at the front. So if you wanted to run a gel, for example, you could line up your protein gel here. Make sure it's squeezed a bit against the gasket. Insert it in so. Tighten it down. And then you're ready to go. You just need to add your buffer inside here, a little bit on the outside, and then you can run your gel. So when you put the buffer in, it'll look something like this. For the viewing window, I initially tried regular 3D printing using the glass PETG technique that others have shown before to varying levels of success, as you can see here. Some are really not transparent at all. Some have a decent level of transparency, but none is really clear enough to serve as a window. So I turned to other options. I next moved to using TPU 3D prints of a mold and then using UV resin in this to create the window. And there were some issues with this. So for example, the TPU is really not flexible enough to release the part, as you can see from the broken edge here. And additionally, the UV resin, when cured in bulk, seems to shrink and contract quite a bit, leaving these wavy distortions. So from there, I ended up going with 3D print and then using silicone, cast it in this to produce my mold, which is much more flexible. And this, ultimately with regular 2-part epoxy resin, produced results like this, as you can see. Much clearer. There are still some imperfections. You can kind of see some of the layer lines still, even after a bit of sanding, but drastically better, and you can actually see quite a distance now with this type of window. However, for the final part, I actually went with JLC 3DP to produce the part, and this is the result. So as you can see, very nice resolution and clarity. So this is actually the part that I ultimately used for the final protein gel box. The specific silicone and resin that I used were these, but I guess anything comparable would also work just as well. I had trouble sourcing the gaskets that separate the protein gel electrode from the protein gel itself. So initially I actually 3D printed these gaskets using TPU, and that worked to some extent, but really these were too tough for the application and didn't really do a very good job sealing. So again, I ended up 3D printing a cast and then casting the silicone into these and using that for the final protein gel box.
While it's pretty straightforward, I just wanted to quickly demonstrate how the silicone casting works, in case people aren't familiar with the process and wanted to see how I did it. For the silicone, I didn't have much of a problem with bubbles, but for the resin, I would definitely recommend using a blowtorch to pop as many bubbles as possible. You need to let it cure overnight, and then you should be able to peel it out of the mold pretty easily. You'll also need a knife or scissors to trim up the edges of the casting.
The last pieces that are necessary are this brass plate, which goes right here, and banana connector. Together, these two connect the electrode assembly to the lid and power supply. As you can see, I made one of these brass connectors by hand, and I had the other one machined by JLC 3DP. As an added bonus, I'm also working to make an electrode assembly for Western blunting, but it's not quite finished yet. So that's Jello, the protein gel box. If you enjoyed this project and want to stay up to date with future ones, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.